Welcome back to Light of Parables. Today, we're journeying back to the very beginnings, to Genesis chapter 15, to witness one of the most profound encounters between God and humanity. After a great victory, Abram, who we later know as Abraham, finds himself in a moment of quiet reflection. It's here that the word of the Lord comes to him in a vision. God says, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." But Abram is troubled. He has wealth, he has victory, but he has no heir. He pours out his heart to God. "Sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless?" He feels the sting of a promise that seems unfulfilled. He even points to his servant, Eliezer of Damascus, as his only potential heir. This is a moment of raw, human honesty. How often do we, like Abram, look at our circumstances and question God's promises? We see what's in front of us, but we struggle to see what God has in store for us. But God's response is immediate and breathtaking. He takes Abram outside under the vast, star-dusted canopy of the night sky. "Look up at the heavens and count the stars. Indeed, you can count them." Then he makes a promise that echoes through eternity. "So shall your offspring be." And here we find one of the most powerful verses in all of Scripture. Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. It wasn't about Abram's perfect actions or his flawless understanding. It was about his faith. His trust in God's promise, even when it seemed impossible, was what made him righteous in God's eyes. But Abram, still human, asks for a sign. "Sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it?" He wants assurance. And God, in his incredible grace, doesn't rebuke him. Instead, he enters into a solemn covenant with Abram. God instructs Abram to prepare a special sacrifice: a heifer, a goat, a ram, a dove, and a young pigeon. Abram arranges them as instructed. As the sun sets, a deep, terrifying darkness falls over him. In this state, God reveals the future to Abram, the centuries of suffering his descendants will endure in a foreign land, and their eventual, triumphant deliverance. Then, something extraordinary happens. As darkness deepens, a smoking firepot and a blazing torch symbols of God, sewn present pass between the pieces of the sacrificed animals. This was the ancient way of sealing a binding, unbreakable treaty. But notice, only God passes through. He is taking the full weight, the full responsibility of the covenant upon himself. He is saying, "If this promise is broken, let the penalty fall on me." On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, promising him and his descendants the land from the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates. Genesis 15 teaches us that it's okay to bring our doubts and fears to God. It shows us that true righteousness comes from faith believing in God's promises even when we can't see the way. And most beautifully, it reveals a God who binds himself to us with an unbreakable promise. A covenant sealed not by our strength, but by his own faithfulness. Thank you for joining us on Light of Parables. If this story has touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the timeless wisdom of the Bible. We'll see you in the next video.